Good morning, everyone. Good morning, respected speaker. Good morning, respected teachers, and my dear friends. We welcome you all for the one-day intercollegiate webinar on waste management, a move from trash to treasure. I, Dr. Vinay Naik, faculty from BMS Department, Patkar-Varde College, wish to introduce you all to our educational institution. Our college was founded by Chikitsak Samoha, an association of like minded individuals who were keenly interested in education. The college was named after Sir Sitaram Patkar, a distinguished judge of Bombay High Court, who was knighted after his retirement, and his wife, Lady Shantabai Patkar. Sir Sitaram was deeply interested in furthering the cause of women's education and was also Vice Chancellor for SNDT University for many years. Patkar-Varde College of Arts and Science started functioning from the academic years 1964 to 65, and the Commerce section started from the academic year 1980 to 81. To provide further with career-based education, the college started degree-level self-finance courses from the year 2000 to 2001. Since then, the college has constantly upgraded the courses offered and the infrastructure required for these courses to provide students with the best possible learning opportunities. Many of our alumni hold very good positions in various fields. Patkar-Varde College has a place of pride amongst the various education institutions in the western suburbs of Mumbai. The college has re-accredited with a score of 3.53 by NAC in 2018 in 2018 third cycle. Followed to this, academic autonomy was also conferred on the college from the academic year 2019 to 2020. In the year April 2020, as per Education World India College, has ranked 45th in all India and has a 10th ranking in Maharashtra. This is all about education institution. Now, I would take this opportunity to welcome our speaker, Dr. Smita Birkar, who is an entrepreneur and a founder of the organization named 5R Cycle non-profit organization. Madam has completed a PhD in plastics engineering from the University of Massachusetts Lowell, USA in the year 2014. To further know about her professional experiences, Dr. Smita Birkar Madam has 4 years of experience in business management, product management, and research and development. Madam has also been a BDM, Business Development Manager in Reliance Industries Limited, Vadodara, Gujarat, from April 2017 to June 2019. Madam has also an experience as an applications engineer in New Age with New Age Industries in Pennsylvania, USA, from March 2015 to Jan 2017. Madam's also done a lot of internships with in innovative plastics from Indiana, USA, and as Madam has also been a research assistant with the University of Massachusetts, from where she has completed her degree. Dr. Smita Birkar Madam further decided to venture into solid waste management to reduce the impact of pollution that has on the environment, wildlife, and aquatic life. Now, I would hand over the mic to Dr. Smita Birkar Madam.
Hello. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Vinaya. That was a great introduction. And first of all, I would like to thank uh, uh, to Patkar College for giving me this opportunity to speak about my venture. It is really great, and I think it's amazing that we can connect to everybody or such a large audience from one corner of the place, considering the tough situation of pandemic. So, welcome everyone. Good morning. My name is Smita Birkar, and I hope that in this tough times of pandemic, you all are safe. I really wish the best for you. Make sure that you take all the precautions that are necessary, because we don't want the COVID-19 to spread. So ensure that all the basic actions are being taken at your end. So I think today's webinar, I intend or my intention is to not bombard you with a lot of information, because I think you already have access to a lot of it. But I think if at the end of the presentation, if you're able to think, you just start thinking about certain things, then I think I am successful in times of triggering your mind with certain actions and thoughts that I think all of us should actually start taking. And I'll make sure that it's a conversation. I don't want to just keep talking and talking, so I'll be like kind of posting certain questions in between, so we'll try to answer some of them, and highlight some of your thoughts, and the remainder we can always obviously handle at the end of the session. So I'll just start, and if there is any issue with the audio, or you're not able to hear me, or if there is any way you're not able to see the information, then please feel free to just mention it in the comment section, and we'll make sure that the problem is solved at our end. So thank you, everyone. So here I am going to just start my presentation for you. Uh, okay. So today's session is based on waste management, a move from trash to treasure, and I'll just start with the introduction of myself and 5 Hour Cycle Foundation. So as ma'am mentioned that I have a PhD in plastics engineering, and you all might be amazed that plastics engineering. I think that's a course that nobody even kind of knows, and I think I was the same person like you, probably a decade back, who had no idea that plastics is also a field that somebody could study. So, my education background, I'll just tell you a little bit that I did my BTech from Institute of Chemical Technology in polymers, and that was the first time I actually came to know about the plastics field. And as I continued my education, I found an opportunity to kind of explore this field further. And I was quite intrigued by the thought that, oh, there is a different industry, or there's a different world of plastics, where there is ample amount of opportunities, and exploring ideas that can that has endless possibilities. And with that, I decided to do my PhD in plastics engineering. And to be honest, more than the information or more than the research, I was very amazed with the technological advancements that are happening. And also it kind of adds a lot of discipline. So any post graduation coursework also adds a lot of discipline to your thoughts, and you start working in a very different way, and you also learn to be patient. So I think that's one of the big qualities of being a PhD professional. And after that, I took up a corporate job, and I worked for 4 years. And it was good. It was a great learning experience, because I think corporate world is the best way to interact with a lot of people, a lot of information, industry, people on the ground, and people on the corporate levels. And I think it's a big eye opener, and it's a big growth platform for everybody, all of us, to kind of understand that where you want to be. And after the corporate life, I started missing certain things in my life, and I was like, I think I'm working on a 9 to 5 job, and there's no purpose to my life. What is it that I'm missing? And obviously the pandemic tossed over, and it got everybody locked down, literally locked down, not only in terms of the house, but in also terms of your thoughts. And now everybody had a lot of time to kind of explore what they want to do. And that's how I started actually studying about packaging, because since I've been in the plastics field, and I always wanted to kind of learn about more about packaging. And then I kind of ventured into how you can kind of get into waste management. And then I saw the ample amount of work that still needs to be done in this sector. And then I did a thorough research of 2 3 months, and then I said, okay, I think I've done a lot of a back end study, and I have knowledge in this field, so why not contribute this for the society? And that's how the 5 Hour Cycle was born. And that's why I registered it as a non-profit organization. And also because I think all these efforts, everything that you learn, or everything that every knowledge that you gain, if it is not benefiting the society, then I think it still has to find its value. It will be more valuable if it is applicable to the society. So the date of establishment is 1st June. 1st June I got my organization registered. Our office is in Charkop sector 4. You can always come down there, and you can always have a chat with me if you want to talk about anything about environment or waste management, or if you have any ideas that you would like to implement, you're always welcome. We also have a website under the name of www.5hourcycle.org. So you can always keep checking for a lot of information that we publish there. Then our contact information is there on the screen, which is the email and the phone number. Please feel free to ask any of your questions, or contact us, because I think end of the day we all want something great for the environment, and more ideas or more innovative ideas are always welcome. And I think I already gave you an information or a background about my professional career. So a lot of information is already there on the slide, so please feel free to reach out to us. Apart from that, I would just also want to tell you about on a personal front, as a person who I am, because on a professional front all of us are doing something, but on a personal front I'm a very conscious person when it comes to environment. I always make sure that my actions do not harm the environment, though they do still, because indirectly they do, because I'm also using technology and certain other things, but I try my best to not do something that will spoil the environment. I'm an avid traveler. I travel a lot, and I mean, now because of the pandemic, we are not going anywhere. But apart from that, I'm a very avid traveler. I like to travel places to India, and I've traveled a lot in USA, and I also listen to music, and I'm quite active on social media. So you can follow us on social media as well. So I keep posting about the certain updates, advancements that are happening. So that's about me. I hope that after this conversation, you all can always approach me. I would always want the best for everybody, and a conversation is the best way to exchange information. So I would really welcome all of you to contact me and reach out to me, and for anything that any help that you need with respect to environment or a career choice, or anything that I can help you with. So moving to the next slides. So I'm just going to start with basic concepts, like that you need to know about before you actually learn about waste management. So one of the things, of buzzwords that you must be hearing is, circular economy. Okay, so going back to the slide. So what is circular economy? As I was saying that, you must be hearing these buzzwords from a lot of top corporates, government, and all the environmentalists. And it is a very important concept. So I'm going to do I'm going to do a little explanation about it from the pictorial that is there, and we'll also see a short video of the same. So if you see in the picture, there are three kinds of economies that have been highlighted. There's linear economy, there is recycling economy, and there is circular economy. So with the current trend, we all are adapting to these insane lifestyles of westernizing, or now we want things to be fast and easy. So all of us have started adapting this linear economy. We take certain things, we make it, we use it, and then we waste or we dispose it. There is no, that waste is gone, and it doesn't come back to life again. And it's not only about us, but the world is changing. There are so many people on this planet and their needs, and I think this kind of adaptation of this economy model is quite dangerous for all of us. So what you should do is try to think about the two other options of economy, where you recycle, or there is a circular economy. So in the recycling economy, obviously you make use, dispose, but dispose it in the right way so that it can be recycled. And in the circular economy, you make sure that the recycling part is the last thing you want to do. You try to minimize your waste. You try to rotate those resources around you so that they don't end up in landfill, or they are not wasted they are really important resources. So I think adapting a circular economy in the very simplest way possible, would be really good for environment and for all of us. So I'm going to play the short video on the circular economy. So let's see what it is actually. So I'm just going to have to stop sharing the screen with you and then switch back to this share screen.
Circle. All that grows returns to where it began, the earth. And from there, it grows again, forming a perfect cycle. But we have broken that cycle. Our economy is growing unsustainably at the expense of nature. We have created a linear economic model. Make, use, dispose. We extract millions of tons of natural resources every year and turn them into materials that we use and consume. And then we simply throw them away. But what if we designed products that we can reuse, refurbish, and repair, and only extract new resources when we really need them? We would use less new materials and energy and protect our natural wealth. Inspired by nature, a circular approach would boost the European economy, contributing to innovation and job growth, as well as reducing pollution and helping the environment by preserving our precious natural resources. Carpooling, recycling materials, repairing and reusing, using green energy. Many things we already do are part of going circular. A circular economy is possible and brings new opportunities. And it isn't just good for nature and the economy, it's good for our quality of life and our health. A circular economy is a good way of living well within the limits of our planet.
So I think this video was quite informative for all of you, where we have to learn to live with our resources, and that's why circular economy is extremely important. So you can adapt all these practices right from today, so that we can save the environment. And not only that, but a lot of work goes into extracting a different kind of resources, and also their conversion into something very fruitful. So we have to make sure that all that value is not lost once you dispose it. So moving to the next slide is a very important slide, which is carbon footprint. So what is carbon footprint? So it's actually an indirect or direct way of measuring, the activities that we all do and how they contribute to the release of greenhouse gases, which is usually measured in the equivalent of carbon dioxide. So, I'm going to share a short video on this also. But if you see the footprint image, you can see a lot of small subtabs that actually tell you the actions that in a day-to-day life that all of us do, right? Like we use electricity, we transport, certain goods, or we ourselves commute. Then anything that is generated in terms of gas or energy or waste, all of these activities indirectly or directly are responsible to generate carbon footprint. Now, it is also one of the most adapted methods for companies and a lot of corporations and government to actually evolve or probably analyze, how green or how great is the actual process or the product. So a lot of things that you might see, that this is better than that and this is better than this. So I think before you kind of judge such things, I think you should be able to understand the carbon footprint behind that, because there might be materials that might be projected as that, oh, this is bad for the environment, so let's just toss it out. But it might be actually good in terms of carbon footprint. There may be another alternative material also, but always look back at how much carbon it generates, or how much carbon footprint it generates. And you will see a lot of articles, a lot of states or countries trying to go zero carbon and etc., though it's a very idealistic state that one would want to get to. But yeah, I think small actions on our end can actually at least minimize it. Maybe not zero, but start minimizing it. So let's take a look at the video, and I think it will give you a more better explanation about what is carbon footprint. Okay, 1 second.
The Simple Show explains the carbon footprint. This is you. You've probably been hearing a lot about climate change and how you should reduce your carbon footprint. But what is that exactly? Just like an actual footprint, it's a mark you leave upon the environment. No, not with your shoes, but with every action that releases carbons. Those are the harmful gases, such as CO2, which are pumped out by burning fossil fuels like oil or gas. The more fuel you use, the bigger your footprint will be. You may think that by driving your car, the only carbons you release come from the engine, but no. Consider the carbons that are emitted just to get fuel into the tank. From the energy needed to extract the oil from underground, the pollution caused by transportation and refinement, to the final delivery to your local petrol station. Not to mention the CO2 released by manufacturing your car in the first place. More than you thought, huh? So unless you live in a cave, you and everything you own has its own carbon footprint. Read a book? Printing and distributing. It uses energy. Brush your teeth, and your utensils will have a history in a factory. Even something as basic as an apple could have traveled hundreds or even thousands of polluting miles to end up in your local supermarket. You see, it's pretty much impossible to leave no carbon footprint behind, but that's no reason to stop trying. Think about your actions and choices, and you'll be able to reduce your personal mark after all. That's how you really put the boot into climate change.
So I hope that was a very informative video for all of you. So you can understand the importance of carbon footprint, and a lot of climate change is actually happening because of the release of carbon. So in whatever way possible, in the smallest way, every person on this planet, if they start being mindful about the carbon footprint that they're generating, or then I think an effort altogether can actually help us to kind of minimize the climate change. And obviously this climate change has been very much effective or very much impactful for animals, because they are one of the species who have been impacted a lot. There you see that a lot of them are extinct. There is they are losing their landscape where they used to reside, and now they have to keep migrating, which is not good for them, because we are trying to evade or trying to attack their land indirectly by staying so many miles away with the actions that we are actually doing. So I think one of the very important things that I would like to kind of address here is, what is green? Everybody talks about being green, or go green, this that. So what's actually the way of kind of understanding, okay, if something is green, how do I assess it? So usually there is a concept called as life cycle analysis, which evaluates whether a material is green or no. I think we all have a picture about what material is green, but I think a proper LCA analysis will actually tell you that which material, from the time it's actually extracted, converted, or produced, or it comes in the form of a product to the end consumer. It is important that all of these steps, from the time that the raw materials, manufacturing process, transportation and packaging, facility, the function, whether it can be repaired, even the end of life, how you even handle it at the end of life, that process also impacts the idea about that material, whether being green or no. So this is one of the techniques that adapted by a lot of companies and governments to kind of, it's not the perfect way, or it's not the but it is the adapted way right now to kind of determine what is green. So based on that, you will see that wood is actually the most greenest material. Then comes plastic, paper, steel, aluminium and glass. And I'm sure that you all must be thinking, oh, plastic, I know it's not green, but if you have to evaluate from the LCA perspective, then it is actually greener than paper, steel, aluminium and glass. The reason why I'm saying this is because when you are making paper, if you all know about the process, a lot of water is actually used, a lot of chemicals are used to bleach it. Same in terms of steel, aluminium or glass, a lot of energy is used to manufacture these materials. So think about that perspective also, not about just whether it can be recycled or how it can be disposed, but on a LCA basis, if you try to see or compare the materials, then if you see, then wood is the most greenest material, because it barely it's made naturally. Even its conversion is not that crazy. Even its disposal is completely acceptable, and it doesn't cause a lot of problem to the environment. So based on that, I think you all should start thinking that when I call a material green, any material, now there will be a lot of materials that will be developed later also as alternatives to the existing things that you are seeing right now. So make sure that try to understand the entire perspective of from the time the raw material is actually extracted to the end of life, and then decide whether it is green. Because I think this concept is going to be very useful for you when you start managing your own waste, and you start practicing or changing your habits, and start adapting different materials and think about them in this perspective. And I'm sure that a lot can change, and you will have a better understanding of what you need to use or what you need to reject. Now, coming back to, everybody talks about recycling, right? Okay, what is recycling? A lot of people are still not aware about this concept. The reason being because we, as humans, are habituated to just dispose of the waste. So something that is not useful for me, I'll just toss it out. Whether somebody comes and cleans, or how much effort it takes for them to kind of segregate your waste or something like that, of the treatment of it, I think nobody bothers. So nobody understands what is actually recycling. So act, recycling is can be divided into three broad concepts. So where there is recycling, downcycling and upcycling. Now remember that these are very extremely important definitions that are going to help you to understand what methods you want to use, or what products you want to actually adapt into your lifestyle. So when you say recycling, you actually take something that is waste, something that is not of use to you, and then you convert it into a same value material. So let's say you take a plastic bucket, and then it is shredded, and then you convert it into another plastic bucket. So now you've got a product that's exactly the same value. But downcycling is completely different. So you take a plastic bucket, or you take a glass, or you take any metal, and then you pretty much convert it into a sorry, it says high value, but it's actually low value. uh, you have to you pretty much break it down into its constituents, so into its original chemical composition. So it could be fuel, it could be waste to energy, these kind of operations where the value of waste is minimized. And then comes upcycling. I think upcycling is the most important practice that all of us should start adapting, because it is where the waste is converted into high value. So let's say you have a bottle, or you have a glass jar, you have a tire, you can start making planters by it. So this is the best way to reduce your carbon footprint, because you're not subjecting it to any process. So, and you are actually converting that waste into a high value product. And I have a video later on also to tell you about what exactly is upcycling, what are a lot of people actually doing, and when they say upcycling. So I think please try to understand and implement these definitions into your day-to-day life, because every material or every product that you choose can actually upcycle, downcycle, and recycle. So but make sure that it's not going to landfills. At least all three of these are in the end, at the end of the day, very helpful for the environment. And then comes the word sustainability. Everybody knows about sustainability, but let's hear it from the late president's words, where he says that sustainable development refers to a mode of human development in which resource use aims to meet human needs while preserving the environment, so that these needs can be met not only in the present but also for the future generations to come. So I think we all know that we have one planet and there is no planet B. So any development or any product or any resource that you are using today, make sure that you understand, if you exploit it, what is going to be remain, or what is going to remain for the future generation. Your kids, your future generation is going to really suffer if we are not mindful about our resources. So that's why it is termed as sustainability. So any action or any process or any development or any product, any methods that you implement in your own life should be sustainable, in which you use the resources in such a way that you also leave them for the next generation to come. Now comes the concept of zero waste. So 5 hour cycle is actually based on zero waste. We do not promote to everybody saying that go recycle, go recycle, go recycle, because I think recycle is the last thing that you would want to do. So that's why the concept of zero waste. So in an ideal world, none of us should be generating or throwing, tossing out any waste, but that's not possible. Let's face it. What is zero waste? So zero waste is an ideal concept when no waste is actually going out of your house. So how can you actually implement this? So for this, I there are 5 hours, and that's the name of the organization, of 5 hour cycle. So what can you do in your day to day activities, or your day to day life, where certain things you can actually start implementing. So the first thing is refuse. I think the first and very important step is refuse. Let's try to say no to certain things that we don't need, like a lot of freebies. We do a lot of online shopping. Especially say no to bags. Carry your own bag. Carry your own water bottle. Certain things, certain, if it's somebody packs, gives you extra packaging, start saying no to these things, because I think this is the best way to minimize, and this is something you can control on your end. So all of us, let's start implementing the refuse hour, where I'm going to say that that's it, I don't want this extra water bottle. I'm going to carry my own bottle. I'm going to carry my own stuff. I'm going to start using public transportation, and I'll not use my own car if it is really needed. That way I can at least save certain carbon footprint. I'll walk a bit more steps. I'll cycle. I don't need my Activa to just go to a certain grocery store which is only 2 minutes away. So all these kind of refuse options, that actually help you to combat the waste management at your own level. The next R is reduce. So this is extremely important. Let's start reducing. Or for example, let's go bulk packaging. Let's not buy one Maggie packet. Let's buy a bulk Maggie packet. Or for example, let's buy groceries in bulk. or things in bulk. Let's not, even when you're, ordering from Amazon or Flipkart, because that's a trend these days. Make sure that you place one order, you have one sum order, that because every small every time, every day you are ordering certain things, you are indirectly contributing to a lot of carbon footprint. So let's try to reduce at our end whatever possible. I'm not saying that everything is doable, but every small action of reduce at your end can actually, lead you to a zero waste lifestyle. Okay, then next comes reuse. So I think we Indians actually are pretty much good in this concept. We'll keep reusing things till they die. Literally die. So you must be knowing that your parents, whatever clothes you buy, after they are of no use to you, your mom will not throw it away. She'll make sure that it is converted into a pocha or something else. So this is a very good practice that we already have inbuilt, but just now, because of the linear economy model, we have started disposing of certain things. But I think reuse is the best way, to kind of also lead to a zero waste lifestyle. So try to reuse a lot of things at your house, a lot of things that you own at your office space or at your industry. If somebody is tossing out a table, then just take it, repair it, and then reuse it at your own site. Let's not try to take it to the landfill or dispose it. The next comes repurpose. Okay, so repurpose is basically also a form of upcycling, I would say, where you're converting your waste into something that could be kind of used in a very different fashion. So one of the biggest examples is your organic waste. So we food is a part of our life. We all consume a lot of it, and obviously it is also a waste that is generated on a day-to-day basis. So the best way to repurpose it is to start composting, because once you start composting it, then you turn it into, or you repurpose it into a very good a fertilizer or a compost that is useful, and you give it back to the environment. So something that would just rot on the street and eventually go away, at least could be repurposed into growing something back again. You can have your food back by just being mindful about the waste. Start composting. There are so many videos and resources or guidelines that are there on composting. You can always reach out to me, and I can also help you in how you can start composting. Educate your community, educate your premises wherever you're working. Let's try to repurpose this organic waste. At least that is one of the biggest waste generators right now. And the last thing that you do is recycle. After all these first 4 hours that you have implemented in your life, then you start doing recycling. Okay, now I cannot do anything of these first four, now I have to have. So for example, let's take a great example of a medicine. That's something you cannot, the first 4 hours are not applied to. So what do you do to its packaging? The packaging I'm talking about is, let's toss that to recycle, right? Because that's something I did not have a chance to refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose. It is the need of the hour. I need it. So what do I do about disposing? So I make sure that it is segregated, and then you send it to recycle. So ideally, maybe to come to a perfect zero waste model is extremely difficult, but I think it is possible. So by practicing these 5 hours in wherever you are, you all go to a great university, to a great college. So every action that you kind of practice, or every action that you take, even when you are in your college premises or outside, or you go to travel, or you will start working tomorrow, and you'll have greater responsibilities in life, or certain areas that you start exploring. So make sure that this concept remains with you, because at an individual level we can do a lot more things, and I think combined they can actually help us to combat a bigger the climate change war that is happening now. Just I'll just give you a brief overview about the types of waste that are there. So everybody must be thinking, okay, like what is the waste? So we all think only about dry waste, because that's something that goes out of our kitchens every day or out of our house every day. But actually, there's a lot more to it. There is plastic waste, there is electronic waste. A special emphasis on electronic waste, since you all are gadget friendly. We all are, tech savvy people, and now we are we look at the advertisements of mobile phones, and we cannot resist of upgrading it. So electronic waste is something that is really booming, and the adaptation of electronics and the adaptation of technology is obviously going to be a big generator of electronic waste. Next comes biomedical waste. Maybe on a day-to-day basis, you are not subjected to biomedical waste, but yes, you have the healthcare industry and the hospitals which generate this waste in tons. It's not even in kgs, in tons every day. And I'm sure that the importance of biomedical waste has risen right now because of the COVID. So if you happen to read a Times of India article which recently said that 65% increase was there in biomedical waste because of COVID-19. And this is the need, right? You have to go, you have to get treated, so there is going to be waste. So this is a completely different industry that kind of deals with biomedical waste. So this is also one of the ways. Be mindful about it. The other factor that I would also like to talk about is there is also biomedical waste generated in your home. So let's say you have somebody who is getting treated, or you're taking certain injections or certain medicines at home, or there is private treatment. Make sure that this waste is disposed of responsibly. The reason why I'm saying this, because it can infect the other person who is going to collect it. So don't think about yourself, but also think about the person who's going to collect the waste, or these stray animals that are there. They can actually kind of get exposed to all this. And biomedical waste is extremely dangerous if it is left in the open. So make sure at least you seal it whenever you're tossing it in the bin. Then comes the industrial waste. So you must be aware that a lot of chemicals or treatments, chemical treatment plants, a lot of chemicals are coming out of industries, and all those are actually tossed into the rivers, the oceans, and you see a lot of froth or foam. And so this is also a big domain where a lot of industrial waste also comes out. And I think an efficient treatment of it is also important. And it is important for you that tomorrow when you start something, all of you uh, might or might not become entrepreneurs, start an industry, but be mindful about this waste also, because we all are responsible for this plan. Then comes the hazardous waste. Hazardous waste is something that is a category also highlighted by CPCB, obviously. Then again, coming back to the industry, so every type of industry also has hazardous waste, in e-waste, biomedical waste, or industry. So all these are kind of compiled, and then they come into the hazardous waste. So there is also uh, it's extremely important that this kind of waste is actually treated appropriately. And there are a lot of safety bodies that you can always contact to combat this kind of a waste. And then the next one is construction and demolition waste. So you all know that a lot of construction and demolition keeps on happening, and the real estate is growing. And we all want to live in flats, bungalows, and whatnots. And all these kind of, so whenever all this is constructed, or even when an industry premises is being constructed, or a road is constructed, a lot of construction and demolition waste is also generated. Yeah, it might not catch your attention because it's not something that's being talked about a lot, but yes, this waste exists, and it's actually it's quite of good magnitude. So if you would want to know more about this, I would definitely talk to you offline, and or about all these types of waste. And also at the bottom, you can see that I have highlighted a link of CPCB, which is a Central Pollution Control Board, which also has the rules for all these types of waste. So you can actually go and see what are the current rules, or what are the current guidelines. If you want to get into this industry, what you should know in terms of the government's perspective. You can always access to this site, and you'll get a lot more information about all these types of waste and how they are handled, or who are handling this. So remember that waste is just not about the waste that is just going out of your house, but it's more than that. So think about everything that is of no use to you or your company, and be just keep checking all the guidelines before you start treating it, or start handling it. So now, since we talked about all these concepts of zero waste, or carbon footprint, or circular economy, Despite all this awareness and despite all these definitions that people already know, what is the problem? So I have highlighted statistics of Maharashtra here, where daily, on a daily basis, we generate 23,000 tons of waste, okay, out of which only 53% is treated, and the rest is going to landfill. So you can see that, okay, what happens, it's not that everything goes to landfill, a lot of it is littered. So it ends up in local water bodies, rivers, oceans. And the worst of it is also that this all littered organic waste is also consumed by a lot of stray animals. So that a cow is eating plastic, or a dog is eating something. There are stray cats who die because of food poisoning, because we don't know what they consume, right? And the cow doesn't, like, the cows or the animals in general do not understand the materials that are there in the waste. They just look for food and they just start eating whatever is there around it. So this is a very big problem, not only in our own state, but overall India, and even globally, that the landfills are not going to be able to take, after a certain point, the amount of waste that we are generating. So you can imagine that this is a very severe problem. So that's, not only does it affect our society, but it also affects the environment and the other species that are living in harmony with us. So they don't even generate waste, but then I think they end up being victimized in this situation. So what is the solution, right? If this is the problem, then okay, let's not, I think it's no point talking, because everybody knows this is the problem, we all know this. So what is the solution? So from the medium of 5 hour cycle, I think the first solution is, let's minimize the waste. I already explained you the concepts of 5 hours, that is refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose, recycle. So let's start minimizing it. I think that's the best way to at least minimize the waste generation at our end. Now, the second one is promote waste segregation at source. So segregate your waste. It's very important. Don't mix it. Don't litter. I think this can actually help, and we'll talk more about it in the next slide. But in the upcoming slide, I'm sorry, that why waste segregation is important. And not only about the dry waste or wet waste. We should have infrastructure for all types of waste, whether it's organic, whether cigarette, glass, metal, plastic, e-waste, hazardous waste, that I actually, so there should be enough infrastructure also. It's not just that, okay, I'm being a responsible citizen and I'm taking care of the waste, but okay, then after that, but where do I toss it? Tell me the right medium where I can actually throw the waste. And then the next one is also, so you all must be aware about the informal sector. A lot of rat pickers and the kabadi walas, these people have been the pioneers, I would say, in the waste management industry, because they are the ones who are driving it. And they have actually made a big contribution to our recycling, because they are the ones who actually separate out the useful waste and then they take it to recycling. But remember that, if as a citizen, if you are not able to segregate your waste, then these people have really high challenges, which they already have. So I think merging them with our current organization is going to be a great way to kind of make sure that we use we use, and plus we provide them support, through medical insurance or a secured salary, because these people are at high risk, because they are actually going into these landfill areas, or going into the going around the trash bins and trying to kind of check what they can take it, but they don't understand the risks, they don't understand the health risk, and they end up suffering because of this. So I think educating them, training them, kind of making them aware about how they can do this, and also making sure that there is some assurance to their life, to their livelihood. I would say, generating livelihood for them is extremely important. So with this, we have a mission. So we want to build a zero waste community in accordance with the principles of 5 hours, which I already explained. We want to create awareness, and that's what I have been trying at my own level through my organization. To not only promote everybody to tell everybody to just segregate your waste, but also I want to also help through 5 hour cycle to have basic infrastructure where anybody who wants to do this should be able to at least implement it. And then implement innovative resource management programs. This is where every resource, now I spoke about a lot of waste, but if you see my Instagram handle, I talk about other different types of waste also, where how you can actually manage these. There is a lot of for example, I can say like tires. Tires is an example, it's a very important resource, and how you can manage it, whether you can recycle, upcycle, what happens to it, or what happens to its materials, these kind of resources. We want to basically implement such kind of programs where we are able to manage the resource effectively. And our objective, obviously, through all of this activities is, first is, we want to make sure that we save all these resources, because a lot of effort goes into extracting them. And we want to ensure that all the programs that we launch are environmentally and economically sustainable. And the most challenging thing, or the most challenging objective that we have, is sensitize communities and bring about behavioral change. Remember that this is the most challenging part here, because people don't want to listen about it, first of all. And if they want to listen, they don't want to listen about waste. So I think at your own level you can start educating your friend, your spouse, your parents, your kids, I think. And then they can similarly expand the chain of kind of this awareness, not only from your house, but at least your societies, or few houses in your societies, if you're able to convince them that first, segregate your waste. Let's try it, let's try to do this. And maybe I think that's the first point of success. And also that we are also trying to work, we do a lot of monitoring and supervision processes for accurate impact measurement. Like for example, we usually we are trying to build a lot of data around what's being generated and how everybody is doing it. We are trying to counsel people through audits. And also all these kind of practices are also important to understand the impact of the waste that is generated. And I think this data in turn can be given to these guys also to make them realize, hey, boss, you're generating so much waste, how you can minimize. And then provide dignified employment opportunities. So I, as an entrepreneur, I feel that the day I or my organization is able to generate employment, because I think donating money to somebody might be a temporary option, but I think generating employment or enabling somebody's life is the best way to empower them. And through 5 hour cycle, we are trying to make sure that we try to provide some dignified employment opportunities to anybody who wants to join. Right now we are just one employee or two employees we have, but as we expand and we go into the next areas, we would definitely want to bring on more people and make sure that their life is secured and they have an employment through us. So I'm just going to quickly touch base on the 5 hour cycle awareness programs that we have. So we have 5 programs that are currently running right now. So one of them is the waste segregation, repurpose used cooking oil, no littering, upcycling, and recycling. So I'm going to talk about these programs just in the next slides. So the first and the most important program that we are launching, or we have launched already, is waste segregation. Now, why waste segregation is important? First of all, it is the best and the cheapest way to recycle, because अगर आप लोगों ने अपना वेस्ट सेग्रीगेट करके हमको दे दिया तो वो हमारे लिए और इजी हो जाता है. So we can recycle a lot more in a very efficient way. It saves a lot of time on our end also. Less waste goes to landfill, obviously, because that's our target. With the zero waste mission, we don't want anything to go to landfill, but it does go. So at least if you segregate your waste, at least that is minimized. That's not going to the landfill. It is better for environment, better for human health. It's a very clean process, and it also saves cost and times for waste management. So we get a lot of waste at our office, where people just kind of like there is a cardboard and there's food left over on it, or there's a plastic where it's all stuck, or containers where they are all still with residues of the organic waste. So I think if you start just being mindful and try to separate it out, clean it up at your own site, and then send it to us, it makes our life extremely easy. But nevertheless, we don't expect such kind of behavior from everybody, because there are few people who really take a lot of efforts to do this, but there are some who just toss it out. But at least let's start segregating it. I think that's the most important way. And the way you can segregate is, there are three bin option that you can actually adapt. is the green bin, which is for the biodegradable waste, your organic waste that is generated on the day-to-day basis. Then comes the blue bin, which is the recyclable waste. So you can toss paper, glass, metal, anything, plastic, anything that is recyclable, you can toss it in. And then there is the red bin, which is for the domestic hazardous waste. So, for example, there are syringes, or there are blood-stained cotton swabs, or anything that is hazardous. For example, like if you have you're using rat poison, that's also quite hazardous, so toss it in the hazardous waste. You're using very toxic paints or anything, then also those should also go into the hazardous waste. So this is the best way to start segregating. So start segregating at your own place first before going to the community, because I think this practice is extremely important. And it is really, I'm really telling you that it's just a matter of habits. I think today we are not accustomed to do this, but eventually, once you start adapting this, I think it will become a very swift habit for all of you. So with this, we have collected a lot of it. We reached out to 3,000 plus people, and we 50 plus retail stores in Virabli. We convinced them in Kandivli, and we gave them a lot of our flyers for dry waste donation, and they have been quite actively supporting us, donating us their dry waste. And this is how then we pretty much recycle or segregate it. So at our center, you must be thinking that, what do you do with all this waste? So we pretty much separate it into 22 categories. If you want to learn more about it, you can always welcome. We can always talk about that offline. And then we pretty much send it to recycling, upcycling, or downcycling, depending on the material type. So, if it's a very hazardous or a toxic waste, or something that we really cannot do, so we put it for the waste to energy or waste to fuel. And then the recycling and upcycling, we actually believe more in upcycling, so we try to kind of convert those products into something useful and give it back to the society. And then obviously there is recycling. So this is our little collection that I've kind of highlighted here in the slide. Now, everybody must be thinking that, what happens to my waste after it goes out? Let's say, even if I segregate it, what happens? So this is a very good chart, which is, which will give you a brief idea about what happens to my waste. So what happens to your wet waste? So first of all, your wet waste can be, is usually can be treated in two ways. One is the anaerobic, one is the aerobic. So when you do the aerobic, which is with the use of oxygen, you have compost and you have fertilizer. But when you do the anaerobic way, then you can generate it into biogas, and that's another form of energy. Then your dry waste obviously is separated into all different constituents: paper, plastic, metal, glass, and then they are pretty much, then they go back to the recyclers, and then they have the most recycling processes that they do, and then eventually it is turned back into the materials. Now, the reject waste usually, as I said, it usually goes to the landfill, but we try not to do that. So you can always send it to a waste to energy, or incineration plants, where it is if it is of good calorific value, then it is actually used to generate certain generate energy. It could be waste to energy, or it could also be waste to fuel, which is not highlighted in this chart, but that's also another option. And then the e-waste, e-waste also, you kind of separate it out into hazardous and plastic, glass, screen, everything is dismantled, and then based on the components that are actually extracted out of it, it usually ends up into the stream that it should go to. So this is our next program, which we have launched, and it is called Repurposed Used Cooking Oil Program. So everybody was very shocked when I started this, and they were like, "Okay, used cooking oil. I usually just toss it in the sink." And then and then I was like, no, you can actually put it to good use. We can convert it into biodiesel. But then they're like, okay, so where do you expect us to give it? And that's how we for the first non-profit organization to create awareness and infrastructure on this. So we have two bins that we are located. One is right in my house actually, and one is in our office, where we encourage people to collect it in a good container, plastic or a glass, store it, and then when you have sufficient amount, you can always just give it and keep it in our bin. And if you have volumes that are greater than 25 liters or 50 liters, then we'll be very happy to come and collect it. we are also trying to generate a lot of, I'm sorry, a lot of awareness through this on social media. So please help us in spreading a word about it. It's an extremely important type of waste, and uh, you must be thinking, okay, why used cooking oil? Because it can clog drains, it can damage sewer systems, it can contaminate the local water bodies and water treatment plants, and the worst of it is it can illegally re-enter the food chain. So you must have gone to eat a lot of Frankie's, or a lot of Chinese stuff that you eat at the roadside. So make sure you observe the oil, okay, that the guy is using, because if it is too dark, then it's a sign that you're not supposed to use it. And what happens is, these all of this is sold in black, because obviously nobody can afford the very expensive good quality pure oil. So they usually end up taking oil that's already being used a lot of times, and then it is going to be impactful on your health. I think that's the last thing that anybody wants, right? That anything that you eat outside, because we all are adapted to such things. So make sure that it doesn't impact your health. So eat healthy. At least make sure that from whichever source you are eating, at least you check it out, that is this oil good. I want to make sure. And if not, then please discard that habit. Try to make sure that you educate that person also, that boss, just change this oil. But it's our humble effort to make sure that at least we create an infrastructure where people like you, conscious citizens like you, who want to actually donate, or rather than tossing it in the sink and save the environment and the human health, we'll definitely try to support you. And please, you can always come and just give the container to us, and we'll make sure that it is navigated to the right stream. Now, the next campaign that we are really trying hard to educate people is no littering. So, littering is a very deeply rooted cultural problem, far beyond issue of law and civic sense. Even if you have stringent laws, or there are people who are highly educated or people who are not educated, doesn't matter. This all doesn't matter. But it's something that we just do it. We don't even realize that we do it. We eat a pack of chips, and that's it, it's tossed on the road. Or while we are traveling, so the image in the slide is actually somebody throwing out a cigarette box and a beer can, or just outside the car, because okay, my usage is done for these things, so that's it. Now it has to go out. Where it goes, I don't care, but it has to go out. And so this is really, really dangerous, very dangerous habit. So please do not litter. you know and it is also the worst form of pollution. Very good clean road will start looking shabby if you just start littering it. So whenever you're going for a family picnic, or you're going to travel for any reason, please make sure that you're not polluting the environment by littering. Okay, if somebody is not collecting that waste, even if you dispense it in the right way or dispose it in the right way, that's a different story. But at least don't litter. At least try to educate people around you when you are going, uh, and tell them about that please do not litter. And what happens is, a lot of this littered garbage also ends up on the road, or etc. And a lot of children, animals, pack pickers, so they are affected to all this. They are exposed to all these things, especially animals. Poor things don't even know what they are being subjected to. So littering is actually a big problem. It can affect a lot of different people in the society. So what you can do best is, as I already told you, that hold the trash until you find the nearest dustbin. Please hold it. uh, Wait for the next station, bus stop, or nearby toll also to drop off your trash. Please carry your own trash bag if possible. Or make a little mini trash bag that even I have in my bag, which I use pretty much to toss it, and then toss it in the nearest dustbin. And I already said that please do not throw trash out of cars, buses, and trains while traveling. And most important, please educate people around you and the consequences that are resulting due to this behavior. So I think let's share this idea. Let's try not to litter, and show this little guy's photos, which is also there in every type of packaging that you pick up tomorrow for any product. Explain them that we all want a good environment. And I think this is one of the habits that kind of actually also differentiates us between the other countries, because I think there, at least, people do litter. I'm not saying that they don't litter, but I think there is some sort of responsibility that comes, uh, 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 that has to be there when it comes to littering. So at least this is the best way. If you don't litter, then you've managed your waste. So then, as I told, our next program is about upcycling. So we have collaborated with a company called Recharkha, which is based in Pune, and so they have a big collection of plastic bags. Now you can see in the image that you can give your kurkure bags, your gift wrappers, your cassette tapes, your polythene bags. There's no limitation on the micron size. So we are actually we have tied up with them for the collection of the plastics bags. So we don't upcycle it, but they do, and we pretty much we are there as we have collaborated them with them to do the collection at our end. So this is our drop off address, which is also the office address that we have. So you can save all these packets, and you can always hand it out to us, and we'll make sure that they reach to them, so that a lot of things are upcycled. So with this, if you see in the image, there's a bag, there is a bottle cover, and there is a book cover, and there's and a laptop sleeve. So all of these products are actually made from this plastic bag. So I'm just going to share the video with you, and then I think you will understand the entire process of how it's actually done. So let's see the video. Mm, okay.
Can you guess how this turns into this? Let's find out.
So I think the video was quite informative for you, because these people are doing a great job of actually upcycling the plastic bags, which all of us have been just tossing it out. So at least it's converted into a very great product. And with this, I would also like to tell you all that it is important that we start adapting these products also. So upcycling, recycling, or any kind of process is extremely great, and but it has to be economically viable, or financially feasible, if we all as consumers also start adapting these. So for that, we also have a coupon code that you can use, which is called as 5-hour cycle, and you can get 5% discount if you want to buy all these products at Recharka site. So we have collaborated with them for this great initiative. And obviously the best thing also you could do is donate your waste to us. A lot about how you can actually cut out the chips package, or keep store these all kind of plastics. All this information is also available on our site and their site, so please take a look at it. Then we move to recycling, which is our biggest program. So if you see in the picture, you can always start. We basically separate it into glass, metal, paper, plastic, and even organic waste. And recycling is extremely important, because that helps in a lot of resource management. So if you see the symbol, there's a symbol, a triangular symbol on every container, right? And this is also available in all your products also. So tomorrow, you can check out a Lay's packet, or a Balaji wafers packet, or any kind of a food and beverage product, and you will see this triangle. So take a look at the triangle, and take a look at the numbers. because the numbers actually denote what is the material. So I have not put a detailed list here because I didn't want to kind of bombard you with a lot of information, but all that information is available on our website also. So the link is there. You can go to your website and there's a tab called Know Your Packaging, where you will understand what is the packaging made up of. The number and the material, the description, its application, everything is given. So please check the recycling code and also do visit our website and try to gain more knowledge about what kind of material is used for the packaging or the waste that is generated at your place. And you will also see an image of a t-shirt, that is our t-shirt basically, which is made from PET bottle. So we ourselves are big promoters of recycled products. Like, we that's why we have our t-shirt which is designed into from PET bottles. So we got this t-shirt where one t-shirt is actually is responsible for recycling 12 PET bottles. So these kind of fabrics are also available online, or these kind of products, upcycled, recycled, are all available also online. So please make sure that you adapt certain things, that don't go for new things all the time, but I think recycled or reusable products are extremely important, and they can help our environment and us. So I'm going to share a short video about recycling, where we'll show you about recycling of multi-layer packaging, which is something that everybody believes that, Arey, this though I know this is not going to be recycled, and it is, you will see it kind of lying around the road all the time. So let's go through this video where you can actually see that it's actually being recycled. So I'm just going to log out of the screen and then show you the video for the same. So I hope this video was extremely useful for all of you, because we are all under the impression that multi-layer packaging, which is the trend now, every product is actually using this. The entire FMCG industry is evolving and a lot of more brands are coming in, and we all want a lot of packaged food, packaged beverages. So a lot of multi-layer packaging is being used currently in order to preserve the product. So remember that multi-layer packaging is not used because it's the coolest way to pack your product, but it's very important for this, the safety and to preserve your product till it reaches you. So remember that it can be recycled, so please do not throw it. You can always separate it and give it to us, and we'll make sure that it is recycled. So I think I have one more video to share with you, but which is downcycling, where waste has been converted to energy. And actually, this video is from Sweden. So one of the cool facts that I'm going to tell you about it is after we see the video. So let's take a look at it, and I'm sure this is going to be really a good example for all of you.
Nameless. 2 billion tons of trash are dumped into landfills every year around the globe. That's so much trash that if you lined it up in garbage trucks, it could circle the earth 24 times. Wow. But Sweden has found a way to make their trash work for them by using it to fuel a waste-to-energy program that converts garbage into sustainable energy. Sweden has even gotten so efficient at this process that they've run out of their own trash and now import garbage from other places. Believe it or not, only 1% of Swedish garbage actually ends up in a landfill. So where does it all go? About half, or 47%, of Sweden's waste is recycled. The program recycles and sorts metals, plastics, newspapers, batteries, and electronics. The remaining 52% of the country's waste, like excluded scrap metal, circuit boards, and agricultural waste, is used for the country's waste-to-energy, or WTE program, which produces electricity from burning waste. So all that remains is a remarkable 1% of Sweden's trash that actually ends up in a landfill. But wait, how exactly does garbage turn into energy? After recyclable content has been removed, the remaining trash is brought to a waste-to-energy plant. There, the trash gets loaded into furnaces and burned, which generates a large amount of steam that spins generator turbines, producing electricity for the nation's power grid. All leftover metals are separated and recycled, while any other remaining materials that do not burn, like porcelain and tile, are collected and repurposed into gravel for road construction. Over the past decade, Sweden has become so good at this waste-to-energy process that they've actually run out of their own garbage and had to start importing it from other countries. It's a win-win situation for most countries, since shipping trash to Sweden is not only cheaper than paying landfill taxes, but it also makes sure more garbage is reused. In 2014 alone, countries like the UK and Italy exported about 2.3 million tons of waste to Sweden's WTE facilities. Those factories charge about $43 per ton of trash, meaning that for those 2.3 million tons, the country made almost $100 million in revenues. Day by day, Sweden gets closer to becoming a zero-waste nation, with efforts both large and small. Their waste-to-energy program has even inspired other countries to consider it for themselves. Do you think a waste-to-energy program would be beneficial in your country?
So I think the video might have been quite fruitful for all of you. And the cool fact that I was going to share is only 1% of their waste actually goes to landfill, with respect to 47% of ours. So, this is one of the best ways to actually convert waste into something of value. It is converted into energy. And this is a process of downcycling, because, you don't get waste back into a form that it originally was. And a lot of it is very complicated. So, complex materials are being used, or complex designs are being used, but, you can always use the downcycling process to at least convert it into a suitable form, rather than, polluting, rather than it being polluting. And also, it goes to the landfill. So, this is our collection. So, I spoke about all the 5 programs that are going around at 5 hour cycle. So please feel free to support. And this is a short glimpse of our office, and, the stuff that we are trying to do. We collect a lot of waste. We upcycle ourselves, and, we try to segregate a lot of waste that comes from you. So we've already, crossed 500 kg plus of waste from landfill that we've already diverted. So we feel really good that at least we would have, we are able to kind of, help the environment and the society through our platform. So please do donate your dry waste to us. Um, and the other campaigns that we have in pipeline, we are going to also get into e-waste recycling, then cigarette butt recycling and tetra pack recycling. These We haven't launched these campaigns as of now, but they are in the they are in the pipeline, and you will surely hear about it. So stay tuned to our social media and our websites, where we make a lot of announcements on that. So now, how can you contribute? Now, after listening to this whole session, I would say that you all must be thinking कि चलो now, I've learned a lot of things. So अभी मैं क्या करूँ, मैं कैसे help करूँ आप? तो आप लोग इस तरीके से contribute कर सकते हैं कि पहले तो आप अपना, you practice these 5 hours in your daily life, all of you. Start implementing these practices, and, try to enable a little bit of a zero waste lifestyle on your end. Segregate your waste. I think that's the biggest contribution that you can do to us and to the society and to the environment. Is please start segregating your waste. If you're not doing it right now, please do it. And do not litter. Please do not litter, and educate people around you that they should also do that. Reduce your carbon footprint in any of the methods that you can. I'm not saying that everything has to be done, because there are certain things that, that are out of control that you cannot do, but wherever you can, please reduce your carbon footprint. And I spread the word, educate, create awareness amongst your friends, peers, family, or any people you meet wherever you travel, or you come across certain individuals who might not be aware about these concepts. So try to explain them, try to educate them. I think all of us, if we chain out and, we start educating, like today, I'm able to reach out to all of you, and tomorrow you can reach to many more people. So I think once we start spreading the word, it is going to be extremely great. And, it is going to support this entire initiative. And, we all will start, living in a better world, in a better place. And a lot of changes can happen at your end. Only you can, you cannot change the world, but you can change yourself. That's what people say. So at least let's try to do that at our own individual level. So volunteer with us, please become a dry waste donor. I have also, added the pamphlets. So these pamphlets are also available on our website. You can always come and collect it from our office. Please, there's a big list. We have a very extensive list here that you can donate. Please save that in your house, and you can always come and donate it to us. If it is a magnitude, if it is a pickup of great magnitude, we'll make sure that we are there to collect it from you. But if it is a small donations, then please come and drop off. I think this is the biggest support and help that you guys can do to us. We are open Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. This is our office address. If your community wants to donate, you can please feel free to contact us on this number. We'll make sure that we come, we educate them, and we've already started accepting community donations from one community. So we would like to expand that more. So at your own level, please do share this on your social media. We and tag us on Facebook or Instagram, and please share this list with every other person possible. And I think that's, or what, put it in your WhatsApp group, your family WhatsApp group, your friends WhatsApp group, and at least, I'm not sure that everybody is going to start donating it, but at least the word is there. They at least know that something is there. So please become a dry waste donor, and volunteer with us in this initiative. And we also would like to tell you that we also take support in cash. So in case you would like to support it in a monetary way, then these are our bank details. They are also available on our social media platform and on our website. You can always click on our donate button, and you can donate to us, and we'll make sure that your contribution, especially the monetary contribution that you make, is utilized in the right way. And we really would want to gain trust and a support from you, and we'll make sure that this mission of ours, the zero waste mission of ours, is successful, and it benefits you and the society and the environment. And with this, I think I would like to wind up and say a big thank you for all of you for listening to me for so long. This was my first webinar, so I'm sure I would have made a lot of mistakes. Probably missed out certain things that I would want to say. There is a lot more to waste management. We can keep talking. There are endless possibilities. So maybe we could have a lot more sessions later on where we could target every type of waste, or certain types of different topics that probably I can, whatever I can do at my end. But let's keep this conversation going. Please feel free to reach out, and we can all have very healthy conversations, and as an individual, let's try to and I would also like to thank Patkar College for, first of all, giving me this opportunity, the Department of Bachelor's in Management Studies, and special thanks to Miss Vinaya Patkar and Aditya Parab, who actually helped me in coordinating this entire session. So a lot of effort from them, and reaching out to me, and obviously all the attendees for kind of listening to us. So thank you so much, and let's take any questions that are there.
You're welcome, Smita madam. This
Yeah.
is Dr. Vinay Naik. Smita madam, I think we'll take a gap of like 2 to 3 minutes in that case, or 5 minutes max to max.
Yeah, sure.
I would request all the participants to put their question in the chat box, so that
Hmm.
the questions can be seen by you in that case. All right.
Okay.
Okay, madam. Yeah. Dr. Smita madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Smita madam, one of the students, were asking, what is the process of becoming volunteer in your organization?
Okay. So
If you want to
I
participate
think
as a volunteer.
yeah, yeah, sure. So if you want to be a volunteer, right now we have not opened the page for sign up. We are actually launching it, where you can volunteer with us, and whatever cleanup activities or any future events we have, we'll inform you. So you can be a part of those. And also, if you can help us, organize any collection drive at your end. So, for example, if you are able to influence a lot of people and tell them that let's start collecting waste, I think that would be a great way of volunteering.
Yeah, that's certainly, madam. I also was thinking on the same page, wherein we can,
Yeah.
not now, probably once the lockdown is over, once actually students come to college, we can
Hmm.
tell the students, to give away the, what we can say, the waste in that case, the dry waste
Hmm.
especially,
Yeah.
so that,
Right.
it can be beneficial for you, right?
Right. Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And yes,
Right now, we don't
students,
have any cleanup activities. We actually plan to start cleanup activities once COVID settle down, because we don't want to, risk a lot of groups right now, because I think mass gathering would be
true,
very
true,
difficult
certainly, yes.
and tough times. So
That's completely right, madam.
yeah.
Students have really liked your session. A lot of
Oh,
messages are
thank you.
coming with this regard. It was an informative session and explained
Okay.
very detailed in that case, very nicely. And most of the information was, the clarity was there. The students have
Okay.
liked the session very nice. Okay.
Okay.
And also one more thing I would like to say, students also, if they can, come to your organization to, to undertake or to ideally know the process also, even that
Yes.
would be a better ideology wherein students learn more,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
good, good. So just give me a couple of minutes, madam. So if any more
Yeah.
questions come up, I will just certainly get back to you.
Mhm.
Smita madam, now
Yeah.
there are no questions as such. So
Okay.
I'm now handing over the mic to Dr. Sheetal Patil, madam. She'll be for
Yeah. Sure.
extending the vote of thanks. Just a minute, yeah.
Okay. Sure. Sure. Sure.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm audible to everyone. So, I would like to take opportunity of vote of thanks. So, thank you, Dr. Vinaya, madam, for giving me opportunity. Thank you, Smita, ma'am, for your enlightening session where all the participants have definitely benefited and gained knowledge about carbon footprint, recycling components, and many other conceptual framework were very clear to the students as well the
Right.
other participant teachers.
Right. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Then how to recycle products or how the process of recycling works, how the segregation of the waste it does in different stages, or if we talk about even how it creates various opportunities directly or indirectly through waste management or recycling, that has been well explained by ma'am. So thank you so much, madam. Again, it was a very well easily explained by you about different effects of waste also. So now how to overcome with the recycling, that was a very enlightening concept which was introduced by you, creating different products treasures from the trash is a unique way of recycling, and I'm sure that our participants are also inspired with the same, and we will be certainly assured about we all participants will try to be adaptable towards recycling with the initiative of 5 hour cycle. The
Yeah,
attitude towards trash to treasure will be assuredly planned by the participants. Yes, it's a bit difficult to initiate, but certainly not difficult to implement by us. So
right.
now further, thank you so much, ma'am. So now further, I would like to take an opportunity to give vote of thanks to our all participants, our teachers, and the technical staff for making this webinar a huge success. I once again extend a big thank you to our principal, Dr. Shrikant Savan sir, CEO, Dr. Mala Karkar madam, and the management for their constant support and guidance and encouragement. A successful event has many hands working effortlessly for months. I thank all the department members directly and indirectly involved in making this event successful. Thank you, everybody. I would also like to take an extra thank you to our technical team member Aditya Parab sir as well as Samir Samir sir from IT department. So thank you so much, sir, for your assistance. And last but not the least, I request the participants to submit their feedback in the link provided in the webinar so that we are able to generate the participants participation certificate in their respective email IDs. And thank you all students for being very patient and good listeners for the today's webinar. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Stay
Uh,
home, stay safe.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, actually, I just wanted to, probably just touch base that if anybody has any questions that probably are not addressed, they can always contact offline. I'm always
Yes, ma'am.
available
Yes,
to
ma'am.
address this.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I think you have shared your number, right? Or
Right.
the
Yes.
contact details?
Right.
Okay, 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 ma'am.